All right. Hello, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. How is everybody today? All right. I'm so excited. Welcome to Dating Your Diet Thursday. I'm so happy you guys are here. Let me know if you are new to Dating Your Diet with me because you saw GP Walsh and myself over on Enlightened. I got to get all these names right. Enlightened World Living channel. No. I said that completely wrong. EWN, Enlightened World channel there, because there's so many channels now when we're growing. We're having a launch coming up for the Enlightened World channel. I'm so excited. That's March 20th, guys. I'm getting all my announcements out right now. It seems like as we all get on board here and say hello, I'm just going to pop on over here. Okay. Again, just always trusting that I am live. It says I'm live, so I know I am. So today, guys, we are talking, we're having the big talk, not a breakup talk. We're not doing the breakup talk. We are doing the talk about you are ready to become intimate and connect and commit with your diet. But important for us to have this chaperoned conversation about how well do you know this food? How well do you know their background and what they're coming from? And are you really ready to commit and share your life force, your energy with this diet? Is this the dream diet? have you just been dazzled and, has it been all flashy and you think, yeah, that's that food? Have you been, it's so exactly like when we date somebody and we're trying to figure out, do they make me feel good, right? Are they good for me? Are they there for my highest purpose? This is like the number one question. Are they there for my highest purpose? And in turn, right? Because we are sharing this energy exchange with our food, from how it's grown, how it's raised, how it's goes from wherever it started onto your table in front of you and then into your mouth. And really interesting. I love connecting with GP Walsh about this, because what we now know, well, what I'm sharing with you, and hopefully you now know, so let me know that you now know, is that we must have self-inquiry about this. We must have self-realization about who we are and what do we need so that our food does best serve us. And today, I'm hopefully going to rock your world and open your eyes to some things that you maybe didn't know about the foods you've been choosing. And it's not meant to shock you in a bad way. It's kind of like a tell-all, one of those talk shows from back in the day, they have this tell your secrets things. So I'm hopefully revealing some things that will help you with your food. This is not to scare you or to make you feel bad or to reveal that your foods aren't exactly who you thought they were, but to help you become a better food purchaser, grower, mate, a perfect mate. Like, this is your dream diet, right? We're menu matching. So two things I want to start off with. Last week, we started with your profile, your dating profile, your menu match profile questionnaire. We went through quite a few questions, and some of you have emailed me. Thank you, to get the rest of the questions. And if you have not done that and you would like the full, I think there's 34 questions actually, and I still have more to add. If you would like that, all those questions, just email me at lisa@datingyourdiet.ca. Okay, I'm going to email you all those questions. And what I'm offering to everybody is go ahead and take your time. Ask the questions, self-inquire, find out who you are, find out what's driving you to choose the foods that you're choosing or not choosing, and what style and like, let's find out more about you. When you fill that out, take your time, email it back to me if you'd like my feedback. Okay, it's just free. It's just for fun. It's just to help you guys out, and I'm so happy to do that. So again, email me at lisa@datingyourdiet.ca. If you don't hear from me for some strange reason, message me, get on me and say, hey, I didn't get them. Okay, so knowing that, what is really fun was the question that we came up to was values and promiscuity, right? We can't be sleeping around with our food here. We can't just be jumping into bed with the first food that we like, or just because we like them. Oh, I just noticed that Lucy is in here with me. That makes me so happy. I'm such a cat mom, and I love that when they're here joining me. You know what? We date our diets and we need to know about our foods, but we also I love knowing what I'm feeding my animals. I have the best story about feeding bunnies and guinea. Vegetarian animals are my favorite to feed because I often just share my own food with them and I get to have like a little picnic. So it's fun. But when we talk about values and promiscuity, how well do we know our foods before committing? This is so important. One thing that really came up, and I don't believe I've ever talked about this before. So this is exciting for me. It's new territory. I know it's been a thing. This color is just interesting. I know it's new for me. Please share with me if it's new for you. So the other day, Tomas Gars and I run another page, Podcast Prosperity, and we asked the question, what beverage do you bring to your show? So whether, you're being a guest or an interviewer, or maybe because here, maybe you guys aren't podcasters or interviewers or being interviewed, what beverage do you always have? What beverage are you, every day you consume this? So I'm going to go on a big limb here, not really, but that a lot of us have a caffeinated drink, coffee or tea, right? Water, yes. And of course, we're going to talk about water. But I do want to bring up the conversation about coffee and tea immediately. I'm not a coffee drinker myself. I have drank coffee and, I have it from time to time, but I'm a big tea drinker. Like I'm a big tea drinker. And a couple years ago, I had I want to say way more than a couple of years ago, like 10 years ago. I would never have thought of this, guys, but I had been purchasing the same brand of tea that I always did, which I'm going to tell you, it was Tetley tea. I was drinking Tetley tea. This is the tea I drank since I was probably, I don't know, 10, out and about. My mother always had red rose. And every morning I'd wake up, feel great. I'd have my cup of tea and I just felt nauseous. And I was like, well, is it the caffeine, right? I went to straightforward ingredients. Why wouldn't I? Well, what am I drinking? Okay, I'm drinking tea. Well, caffeine? Well, you ready for what it was? I kept getting this image like intuitively, when you just tune into your body. I wasn't being spoken to, but I was listening to my body. And I was like, I feel like I'm being poisoned. That's what it felt like. Not that I've ever been poisoned, but I hope not. Well, actually, we all are a little bit every day. But I was like, I feel like I'm being poisoned. It feels like that because it wasn't. I ate something I was allergic to. It wasn't something I consumed and was a little nauseous. It was an honest to God. I felt like I was being poisoned. Well, turns out the tea bag, guys, what they're bleaching the tea bag in. Ready for this? All the little micro and there's fun little words, nanoplastics. Do you know that tea bags, if you're not getting the organic and the cotton and all this fun stuff, the tea bag comprises almost 25% plastic. What? Okay, so did you know that about your food? Did you know that about how your food is like, you're thinking, well, I'm not eating the tea bag, right? You're thinking this, but when you're making your tea, for me, I'm one of those people, I like a strong tea. I put my tea bag right in my cup and drink the cup, like it's strong. So but whether you're making a pot of tea or the coffee, and we'll talk about the coffee in a second as well. My world was rocked when I figured out about the tea bags. I switched tea brands, but I still didn't know yet. Oh, I need to be buying actually organic tea. So the tea leaves from the crop to how it's packaged. And I just want to show you guys something. Oh, I should have soaked it before. I went out and I made sure I had some tea bags to show you this. And I literally started looking at what the tea bags look like after I boiled the water and brewed my tea. So I want to show you, I wish you could smell, this one smells so good. It's chai. This is like my organic cottony wine. So you guys can probably see that it's pretty cotton. Can you see this? I don't know. Let's see here. Like it looks like fibery. It's nice. And it's not bleached. It's got some color to it. It's not pretty, but see here, it's got a bit of a shine to it. You see the shininess? This one's got super shine. Like, come on. You guys have to see that. It's almost like silk. And you think, oh, that's pretty and soft. This is a no-no. This is plastic. This is plastic, guys. Wow, it rocked my world. So it's like I found out a secret about an intimate partner in my food that I was consuming regularly and was making me sick. So number one thing I wanted to point that out is about check in with what you're drinking, what you're consuming. Gosh, I wish I could find. I go through this every time with you guys. Just let me have a quick peek. I think there I am. Okay, so there we go. So I can start reading some comments and say good morning. Good morning, Suzanne. Hello. There you go. And oh, Robert, hello. Good morning to you guys. Let me know where you're tuning in from. And if you knew that, thank you, Suzanne, for sharing that with us. Now, the second thing, so I've shown now, I said I don't drink coffee, but my guy does. And so coffee beans and sprays and all these kind of things. And he uses one of these little reusable cups, nope, that is not the cup at all. That is just the little holder. There's all these gadgets. So let me stick with tea because I know tea a little bit better. So what I started also doing was just buying my tea loose. These are cloves because I love actually making my tea. It's not even tea. It's just like, this is just clove. And it isn't plastic. Again, when you go to the bulk barns and stuff, like buying in bulk, you're buying them, but you can also buy them in like a brown paper bag. And then it's not leaching these very dangerous things into your system. So I have lots of tea balls. I have them all over the place. I have teaspoons, tea balls. It's just fun. and the other thing I wanted to say is, we've got to be careful when we are buying even loose tea, because, another thing, again, for me, what's your cue that something isn't right? For me, I feel nauseous immediately almost. When I would smell some of the teas that have natural flavors, oh God, that just drives me crazy. Natural flavors. So a lot of teas, I would smell them thinking they're natural teas, and it would make me feel sick immediately because it's a chemical. It's a flavoring. It's not like natural flavors. You want to get dried flowers and dried tea leaves, loose in bulk and in proper things, and then brew them properly. So I'm really going on and on about this because I know that we all drink a lot of these beverages. Can you imagine if you spend a lot of time with a person, how they think and act or treat you, or what they say, what words they use? You know what? I have dated people who I noticed I've started talking like them, or using different words that I don't normally use, or not using words that I really love using. So to have a self-awareness about how much the grand scheme of things, and on the big scale, how much our life is being affected by just this thing that we love so much that we do without even thinking. Now, let's get into water just for a second, because we're making tea and coffee with our water, drinking water. Water is one of the most, we need it. We love it. I want you to drink it. You want to drink it. You want to hydrate yourself. And more than anything, you want to be flushing out these things. You want to be flushing them out. Get rid of them. Get those kidneys working. Let's get all the body functioning, not stagnant. Let's get it flowing. But what if your water's poisoned? I'm using that so harshly, and I do mean to do it. What if your water's poisoned? What if it's got an incredible amount of pesticides? And ready for this? You are probably taking a prescription that you don't even know, because I'm not saying sometimes, our water contains, it can't be all filtered out with all the prescriptions that everybody's on, and they're peeing, and it's going through your water system thing. It's trying to be filtered out, but there's just so much going through that we're unable to filter. So you might be taking a statin drug. You may be taking an antidepressant. You might be taking birth control. You don't even know what you're taking. So water, oh my gosh, is one of the most important, valuable things that you can make sure you have clean water. And something I would love to share with you is that you're not the only one drinking water. Drinking water is not the only way you are consuming water. I hope I'm going to enlighten you about something else, but if you are a meat eater, is anybody here a meat eater? They are plumping the meat with water, salt water, as salt or sodium or potassium, to plump it up. And they, we're claiming that this is for packing and storaging. And because we're extracting fat, we're working with more fibers like meat fibers, that it's not going to stay good for as long. So they're plumping this. But literally up to 30% of any meat that you're eating has been plumped with this water, this salt water. And what's in that water again? Right? Like oh my gosh, it's getting a little bit crazy on the water. But here's something we can't do. We think, okay, we're washing our fruits and vegetables. We are washing our meat. We're washing our foods. We're soaking our rices and grains before we're eating them. But maybe we're soaking them and washing them in the very thing that we are trying to remove. I must tell you that the fluoride and glyphosate and things, that are in water, in the ground or soil, the way they're spraying them on, you can't wash that off. You can't wash that off, especially if you're, it's being injected. So if you have meat, that needle that's going in and injecting that into, you're not getting that out. That's even when you cook meat, if the water comes out, it's actually making the chemical and all this toxins more concentrated in your food. So what are the ways we can do? We got to eat, right? Well, how do we eat? So this is why I'm touching on organics here. Some people say, yeah, is it really worth it? Do I have to? What if it's local versus organic? What is my best bet to do? So we are going to talk about all this. I want to just go into the comments here. So this is so, sharing information like this and talking about how well we know our food is so important. We need to find out too, what symptoms your body is showing you. What has your body been saying to you? It's not just about a gluten allergy and you have IBS. It's a clear, like, okay, I've got diarrhea, or I'm constipated, or I've got, blood in my stool. These are going to be even more subtle. It's not even like, oh, I've got a rash, or I get eczema, or hives, or I got stuffed up after I eat a certain food. Those are really, like, you're going to listen to those symptoms because they're going to be really interrupting your life, right? Those are big, bold ones. But sometimes even twitches, maybe you've got a little twitch. Well, that's more like a potassium magnesium thing, but you've got suddenly your joint is just a little bit sore, your knuckles or something, and not always. Or maybe your eyesight, you think, nah, I'm getting older, I'm just not supposed to see as well, right? Different taste in your mouth, like, oh, that's different. Is there a little bit of a metallic taste? Is there a little bit of a new film on your tongue? We talked about oral healthcare before, so a lot going on there. Maybe your ears are suddenly just a little bit itchy, or you got a little bit of ringing in your ear, or maybe your hair has changed and it's not as oily, or it is oily. Your fingernails, they're growing a little bit differently, at different speed. Body hair is changing. Huge, your body temperature. We have so many endocrine disruptors. We have so many hormones in our foods that are leaching into it, and we're consuming this, that now we are taking hormones and we didn't even know. Like I mentioned birth control there, but because it's, but even if we're taking hormones and that's in there. So I want you to really listen. And that's why these questions on the menu match profile questionnaire really help you. What questions do I ask? How do I tune in? How do I know? Something that I found so interesting was back in 2003. I was working as a nutritionist in a ladies' gym, and what were we doing? We always do these challenges, so I can't remember. There was a challenge, and one of the ladies stopped drinking diet pop. Thank God. Whew. That's poisonous. So she stopped drinking this thing, but she had actually, see, I want to say this out loud. Okay. She was misdiagnosed with an illness, a very serious illness, that was absolutely not that illness. It was from, sweeteners in this diet pop. And within weeks, she had the weirdest things just stop happening. And she thought, oh my gosh, like, this is crazy. And she had all this more, we'll just call it life. She got her life back. She got her life back for sure. And this is what sometimes we have had these little things so one of the things for me, I had a low grade inflammation. I just thought, I'm getting older, my, estrogen's dropping, it must be this. But what I realized was I had a lot of free radicals racing around in my body. So when I was sleeping at night, you're settled. I'm not moving. So when I first wake up, I got to roll the ankles a little bit, get the knees happening again. But once I started reducing the inflammation in my body, bam, no issues. Like, my fingers all happy in the morning. Like, they're still a little bit stiff, it's life. But I want to say, okay, wait, is it life? How can I improve this? What's going on? So ask what's going on. This is the talk that we're having. Okay, so I want to read some of these things. So Robert, yes, but not only water pumped, also a ton of chemicals. Yes, and there are so many chemicals that have been approved as being natural, right? Of course, like arsenic's natural, right? That they get approved and they are natural, but they're not good for you. They are, I want to say, unsafe. And our bodies go through, like, it's hard to clean up completely 100%. You can't control every single air molecule and water molecule and everything that you're putting into your body, but you can certainly comb through and do the best that you can. And that's why it's so important to ask these questions and to get to know this. Do you know of any weight gain diet? I have searched the web, but all I can find is weight loss. Well, Robert, the interesting thing with weight gain is you'd want to look at, yeah, you don't want to just gain fat. This is not what you're trying to do. You're trying to gain, not, you want to be healthy, right? So it's called the healthy weight diet, right? I love that. I love that you said that. And what we're looking for is an anabolic, a building up diet versus a catabolic. You could search for an anabolic diet, right? So what you're wanting to do is retain, not just make, you want to retain, you want to maintain the nutrients that your body needs. And you do want to let go of the stuff that you don't want. You don't want to be left with frail, right? You don't want to be left with it's like a breakup. You don't want to break up with the love of your life, and then all of a sudden you're heartbroken and frail and can't do anything and have low energy levels. Robert, I would love for you to either email me or share with me here. When you say about gaining weight, are you gaining the weight and then losing it? Like, are you just not able to even get it on you right away? Because we'll see how high your metabolism is, right? And then you may be such an efficient metabolizer that we might need to work with not just calories. I'm never just about calories. And I think that is a horrible thing that we've been taught. But let's talk about nutrients and nutrition and allowing your body and your body frame. Maybe you have a frame that's, one way and it's very natural. So let's email me and let's get you the questions, right? Because the questions will also, when you answer them, will help allow me to see, okay, what is it you're going through? Is your immune system on such high alert that it's taking up a lot of energy? When one of our systems, it's stress, right? Maybe our immune system is constantly guarding about so many things. It's on high alert. We've flipped a switch in our thyroid, perhaps. It's dealing with healing. That's fun. Maybe you're dealing with healing. Maybe your mental, you're just thinking away. You're processing so much. Do you know how much glucose our brain takes? Is insane. Even though our brains are 60% fat, it requires glucose to get that thinking. That's energy. It's fuel. And so let's go through all your systems, Robert. Okay, thank you. Lisa@datingyourdiet.ca. Let's check in with all of our systems. Body temperature. One thing I would love, if all of you go and get yourself an oral digital thermometer. Let's take our temperature. Let's take our temperatures. And even if you take it, what the best thing to do is to bring your thermometer to bed, put it under your pillow, not like the tooth fairy, but and before you get up to even pee, right? You've been sleeping for a couple hours, 2 or 3 hours at least, or at least laying in bed for 2 or 3 hours, whether you're not sleeping or not. Don't drink any water, don't do anything. Roll over, get that thermometer, take your temperature, record it. A month is the best, for us ladies especially, or whatever your cycle is. But for men, give us a good 7 days. Let's get your temperature checked. For men, actually, very interesting. You guys have a 24-hour cycle. We get our lovely 28-day cycles and then longer, but men go through 24 hours. So Robert, I would suggest that you take your temperature and record it 3 times a day before you get up in the morning, mid-afternoon day, or when you notice a shift in your energy levels. I would love to have your temperature there. And then just before going to bed, let's see if you are going to bed at a good temperature. You know what? A lot of us go to bed and we're too cold and then we're not comfortable. And that burns a lot of calories, by the way. It takes a lot of energy. Or sometimes we're really hot. And what that's going to say to me is that during your sleeping hours, your digestion isn't doing what it should be doing. And it's not just digesting of food, was what I'm saying. Your liver, is your liver clearing out for you? Is detoxifying, right? So we have so many body processes going on that we really want to start with your temperature. Let's get to know our bodies, get the questions, answer the questions. This is for everybody. This is absolutely for everybody. And cleaning up on the organics. What I want to share with you, how much time? Okay, good. I got nervous that I didn't even know what time it was. one thing I want to go into is that, have you guys all heard of the Dirty Dozen and the Clean 15? It's a very popular list that's been out for decades. The Dirty Dozen, so the top 12 foods we want to absolutely buy organic or avoid eating them, which I hate to say, or the Clean 15. And there's some of my favorite foods in there that I want to share with you. And what do we do if we cannot avoid the Dirty Dozen or get the Clean 15? Is there somewhere in the middle that we can do? Okay, so this is where that organic conversation is coming in. Though I think it pretty much remains the same. Okay. Yeah. Well, you know what? This will be interesting, right? Okay, and because even by the way, so back to the temperature for a second, a 0.5 degree shift, that something's going on like in that time. It doesn't mean it's bad. I don't mean something bad's going on. I just mean something's happening, right? So your body's going through things even at a 0.5 shift, for us lovely ladies, could mean that we've ovulated, but for men, it could mean, okay, at this particular time of the day, temperature is consistently off by a half a degree, which, does that mean that my livers or my thyroid is kicking in a little differently? And so we love measuring. I love measuring. There you go. So let's talk about, absolutely, Robert. Yes. Yeah. Private message me. So when we go through the list, where's my little list over here? Just let me grab my list. Some fun things. The reason why we have the Dirty Dozen, why they call it that is, we're talking about pesticides and fungicides and herbicides and all those wonderful things, is very difficult to wash these off. These things, they penetrate right through into the flesh of these things, of your food. So you may be washing them. Okay, great. I mean, you're helping out if a kid, wiped his nose or snotted on your food. Sorry, not to be gross. Just like regular dirt that probably you can handle. That's actually our mental part of us goes, yeah, wash that off, but your body can actually handle that. It's more the stuff that's being, like I said, deeply penetrated into through the skins, the soft skins of the foods. So, I know what I wanted to share with you. Now, I'm not sure globally, but I know here in Canada and the US, there's a sticker on all your produce, right? There's a little sticker. Did you know that all the foods that start with the numbers 4 are definitely not organic? So if you see an apple and it says 4593, whatever, right? Not organic. Right? Nines. Yes. We like the nines, and we like 5 digits on your sticker, organic. Okay. So, I don't expect you to remember all that. We can, just, that's a quick search, internet search. You can find that out, but I want you to know you can identify, because sometimes I'll go into the organic section and pick something up, but somebody has picked up or put down and exchanged. And I'm like, oh, whoa, sticker says 4953, blah, 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 or it's only 4 digits, then I know, do not get that one. If it's in the Dirty Dozen for 2020 at the moment, they pretty much are standard. It stays the same, which is sad, but we've got strawberries. So strawberries, kale, spinach, nectarine, apple, grapes, peaches, cherries, pears, tomatoes, celery, potatoes, my gosh, potatoes and hot peppers. Tomato is an interesting one, guys, because we eat a lot of canned and jarred tomato-based products, ketchup, stewed tomatoes, tomato sauce, tomato paste, tomato, right? Even that's important. Like that's just, it's not just fresh fruits and vegetables. We're thinking like, now they're concentrated in the can and jar and sitting there. So you can't wash that. You can't wash your tomato sauce, right? And you can't cook it out. So number one thing too is that's big. So my number one huge biggest suggestion, if you want to start organic, start by buying, if you consume meat, get your meat organic, hands down. Okay. Grass fed. Oh, and here's another thing. So the grass fed, why it's so important is because if you are eating animals, flesh, meat, and those animals have been fed the genetically modified GMO'd corn and been fed a diet of just right? You're now eating that too. So now you've got what they're eating, then you got the injection, then you've got sauces and meat and how you're cooking it. So please start with, if you are a meat eater, buy organic meat or in grass fed, local farm raised, talk to your farmer, talk to those people. Second thing I would do is if you've got dairy in your diet, it's a little song, then absolutely organic, because now we're messing around with hormones and again, what the cow has been fed before. So the reason why dairy is even one of the highest one up there is because it's high fat, and fat, fat just loves to hang on to pesticides and herbicides and toxins and hormones. And that means you too. So if you are overweight and you have extra fat on you, that is where those hormones and pesticides and toxins are being stored. So I'm just jumping into everything. Sorry. If you are now losing weight and you don't feel so great, guess what's happening? I'm pretend this is a pound of fat and a pound of fat. You got a pound of fat. You've lost this pound of fat. All of these toxins that were in the pound of fat are now in your system. You've got to detoxify them. You have to get rid of them. You have to chelate them out of your body. One of my favorite foods, oh gosh, there's so many. Okay, but one of my favorite foods to help remove heavy metals from our body is squash. I love squash. I love squash so much. Squash and cabbage. Squash, fun little share. Farmers actually plant squash as their crop every couple years because it helps it helps the soil. It helps get rid of the heavy metals and detoxifies the land. You are going to detoxify your land. This is your land, right? You want to detoxify this. So if you are losing weight or you're intermittent fasting, you know that you are breaking down fat and things that you no longer need that are not good for your body. But now you've got to really support your detoxifying systems, your detoxification system, which are liver, kidney, lungs. Lungs. Another one of my favorite actually is cilantro. Talk about cilantro a lot. I love that. Because we have stuff in our everyday world that we want to get rid of. Fun thing, I'm going to just, as I read here. You came in on the squash, Tomas. Hello. There you go. What if the grass that the animals eat has already been infected or contaminated? Exactly. That's exactly it. So why I love speaking with the farmers who, if you are, consuming the thing, is that when you say grass fed, yes, great question. So he was like, well, okay. And I was like, oh, Robert, you just reminded me of a thing. I used to have a lizard and I had to feed him crickets, which I absolutely hated. And even though I'm super love the lizard, I am glad that he is now passed away and I don't have to do that. This is a long time ago, but I had to go get the crickets and then give the crickets to him. But I actually had the crickets long enough that I had to feed the crickets. And then I thought, well, wait a second, like it's a never ending chain because I fed the crickets sweet potato, but I was like, well, I don't want to give them a non-organic sweet potato. So now I'm buying organic sweet potato to feed the crickets so that the crickets are healthy from the lizard. And it really is that much of a process. It's just like you're dating somebody. It matters how your person woke up in the morning and how their emotions and world was all day before they come to see you for a date at night. It's a trickle down. We've got to know this. So Robert, great question about the grass that your organic animal or grass-fed animal is now eating. So important. Amazing. I love that question. So I wanted to, and I'm going to flip over. I'll come back to the live and get the questions here. I screenshot you again. You guys can look this up. So here are our clean 15. I love these. So, easiest food to get. I love this avocado. If you can't buy it organic, it's not so bad. Okay. So it's got a thick skin. And this is the reason why it's got it. Now, thick skin isn't everything, but the thick skin is protecting at least from the sprays and things like bananas, right? But please note that the tree or a plant or whatever it is you're eating has grown from the soil. So still important because now it's in its root system. It is being delivered just like you and I, right? If you're having a shower or a bath in chlorinated, fluoridated water with fluoride in it, and all those medications that I was mentioning before, the statins, the birth control, the antidepressants, when you have a hot, steamy shower, you are filling those lungs with this off-gassing of all this, like, okay, I'm going to finish a sentence here. It would be nice. Get so excited. So if you're making sure that while you're bathing and your skin is absorbing this, we won't even get to soaps and detergents and all that kind of stuff, but just be aware of this coming through. So it's how the food is grown as well, and packaged, right? So avocados, yay. Sweet, they're saying this in the Clean 15 is sweet corn. I would like to check this. I don't know, is perhaps the husk thicker on that one? I don't know. I have to check on that one. I would still want to buy organic corn. I really would, because one of the coffees I just learned is one of the highly most pesticides cropped in the world. I just learned that the other day. Pineapple is a good one, right? So if you, again, look how thick and thorny and that one is. So that's a good one. Onion, lots of layers, that onion. Papaya, oh, papaya is so good for you. I actually hated that as a child, and I'm developing a taste for it. So always try a food that you haven't tried in a couple of years, just to see if maybe you do like it a little bit. Sweet peas, frozen. And I just posted this really cute thing. A lot of people are giving ducks and feeding the ducks and birds like corn and bread and everything. Try frozen, you can thaw them for them, frozen peas. And I don't know if they're cheaper. Yeah, it probably is pretty cheap. Eggplant is a yay. We love eggplant. I love eggplant. Tons of magnesium in eggplant, and that's really helpful for your muscles to relax, right? Asparagus, beautiful asparagus. So here in Canada, August is our asparagus season. We really look forward to that one with yummy garlic and lemon. Cauliflower, I eat cauliflower every day. I'm obsessed with it. In fact, if I run out of cauliflower and I have to go like 2 or 3 days without it, I'm craving, like I really miss it. I love cauliflower. This is a safe one. Cantaloupe, broccoli, mushrooms. Oh, I'll talk about mushrooms in a second. Cabbage, yay, love cabbage. Honeydew melon and kiwi. I'm allergic to kiwi, which is really sad. But yeah, allergies are interesting. I keep trying them every so often just to see how it is. Do I still get itchy and stuff? I love cabbage. Okay, so those foods right now. So if you didn't buy those organic, they're the safest. Not the end of the world. We still would not like to not do that. However, what I'm going to suggest to you is buying those ones locally and in season, right? So if you're going non-organic, and any one of those lists, you can get them locally, or close by at least, so it's not shipped and everything. I had that question last week, what is best? Should we forego organic to get local or some? I like to do this mix and match thing because the soil carries different microorganisms across the whole planet, right? And so introducing those microorganisms to your gut bacteria is a fabulous thing. So I like to switch up where I buy my cabbage and cauliflower, pretty much one of my staples. What is it you have in your diet that's a staple? Share with me what is something that you absolutely, whether it's, like cilantro or chili. I was really shocked to see hot peppers on the Dirty Dozen. I was kind of sad because how much hot sauce do we have? Like if we're buying hot sauces and chilies, I would never have thought like, wow, I better get this organic. I have organics and I purchase them, but I also buy non-organic. So that's going to be on my list to do a switch over. Small improvements, guys. I'm not asking you to change your coffee, change your tea, change all your thing. You'll get there. You will get there. But it is important just to be aware of this and kind of go through. So I'm just checking in with my questions. And again, good morning to everybody here. I love showing up. I show up every Thursday at 10 a.m. Eastern. And if you miss me and you're catching the replay, let me know. I love to go back and check the questions. I will put this out there because I'm wrapping up in 4 minutes. If you would like those questions from the menu match profile questionnaire, just put in questions in your subject there and email me at lisa@datingyourdiet.ca. I would like to take this moment. You guys, I just have fun hanging out with you. I'd like to take this moment to invite you to 2 things. There is a value that I cannot express that it is so special and so important and so priceless. It's priceless for you to spend that time with yourself, to go through self-inquiry, to ask, who am I? To know yourself, because guess what? You fall in love with yourself. It's pure love. When you fall in love with yourself, now you can fall in love with the right food for you. Having this high respect, this relationship with yourself is what will support your relationship to the end. It's what's going to offer you stability and your choices, what food am I going to eat? What food I'm going to stop eating? There are foods that are poisoning you and we don't know it, right? I didn't know it. I didn't know it. This was years. And I was like, ugh. And eventually your toxicity levels, you know, these are thoughts, these are emotions, these are the foods that we put into our body. And so as where I was going with that, got a little on the self-love there, is to have self-love and self-love. And choosing your foods and your lovers and your yummy hot dates and stuff is to go through the process of self-realization. I invite you to reach out to me and say, you know what, Lisa, before I'm able to even make any changes in my diet and choosing my, you know, getting my menu match, I do need to start there. I would love for you to share this with me because GP Walsh is my master spiritual teacher, and he's introduced me to self-inquiry. And I've been pretty good with my food. I love dating my diet. I've done this forever. It's what brought me from illness and sickness back to health. And this is when I started this when I was a teenager. I had, you know, intestinal disease. It was an awful experience, and I didn't understand what was going on. I hated life. I was the most depressed, detached. I was sad. I was sad, guys, and I felt the most sick because I knew I was a light, and it broke my heart to not shine. That's a big thing, guys. When you know that I have goosebumps. When you know you are a light and you want to shine and you're not, and you're miserable and you're sad and you're upset and you're sick and you don't feel well and you're not healing and you just don't know. If you're in that place, I invite you to reach out to me and share with me that, yeah, I'm there, Lisa, because, you know, we have some beautiful, beautiful energy techniques, energy work that can help you get to the point where your life force is picking up again. And that's where you're going to get the desire to stick to any diet. That's where you're going to get the ability, the commitment level to maybe try intermittent fasting, or to choose the organics, or to even, I'm going to go this far, to have prosperity in your life and to increase your financial abundance, because now you're able to. Some people are like, I'm unable to work. I'm on disability. I can't function. I can't do this. I don't have the mental clarity to even to work, to do anything. I do invite you to pop on over to Podcast Prosperity. It's not just for host and you know, podcasting, but Tomas Garza and I, who, you know, Tomas Garza, because he does the Course in Miracles 365, because it's 365 days awakening to love. That's what I want you guys to do. I want you to awaken to love so that you can fall in love with the right foods for you. That's what dating your diet's about. And so I want to make those beautiful invitations. I love these two men so much. They have offered me so much assistance and help, and I want to share that with you. And I'm just so excited about this. So there's many ways to get in touch with me right here on this beautiful channel. I love the Enlightened World Network and Enlightened Living. And to email me at lisa@datingyourdiet.ca. You could also, of course, connect with me here on Facebook. You can private message me. Each week that we come together, let me know what you would love to know about. Like, where are you on your starting to date your diet? So let's start with a questionnaire. Ask me for the questionnaire. We got, you know, 34 questions and building. and it just allows you to start that self-inquiry practice so that you can choose your dream diet, you know, have your dream diet. I'm just going to go into here. I have a thank you from, Bernadette made it. Suzanne, thank you so much. And Bernadette, here we go. Onion in many forms are always, as well as onion. Oh, yes. Onion in many forms. I got to think about what we're talking to. What was that about? Is that about detoxifying? Oh gosh, I don't know. Here you go. So thank you guys so much for letting me share with you all these new ways. If they're new to you, maybe they're not, maybe, you know, I know I just love my little thing. I think today, you know what, I wanted to share with you guys really fast. I'm going to just say it really fast and I'm going to go. I found that I had fresh cloves. You can't really see them, look cloves. And this is something that I wanted to make because I've had a couple of friends who are having some dental issues. So I actually took the cloves, crushed them up with a mortar and pestle, and been infusing olive oil, organic olive oil, and then now having them do oil pulling with that oil. So it's doing amazing for people. So I want to say thank you guys, everybody, for showing up. I better hop off here so that the lovely next people can pop on. And I look forward to hearing from you. And I will see you all next week at 10 a.m. Eastern time right here on this channel. Thank you so much, guys. Bye.